Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I think I timed that all right. In today's video, we are taking a look at my slivers. Baby, I sure do love slivers. My absolute favorite creature type from Magic the Gathering. Something I just kind of accumulate as many of as I can. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to talk a bit about not necessarily why I like this creature type. I think it's fairly obvious. These are some freaky deaky looking dudes that all have some kind of ability that benefit other... Oop, dropped one. They all benefit each other. Now, they were redesigned, so now they only benefit your slivers as opposed to every sliver in play, because someone in Wizards of the Coast R&D is a giant coward. But redesign aside, and let's see if I have any of the newer alien-looking ones nearby. Redesign aside, I still love the sliver creature type quite a lot. It is my favorite tribe to play in Magic the Gathering, and as a result, I just kind of hoard them. There we go. There's the new M14 style slivers. Doesn't that look hideous? Wild stuff. So rather than talking about why I like them a whole lot or which my favorite ones are, because I will do the bit of that later, I'm just going to talk about hoarding and hoarding collectibles and why I just kind of enjoy hanging on to the stuff that I enjoy. You see, when you are someone who buys and sells a lot of cards, you're going to occasionally get things that you just kind of want to hold on to. And trust me, some of the time this stuff will be high-end cards that you know in the back of your mind you need to sell them to make a profit. You bought a collection, you got some cool, expensive card that you never saw. Maybe it's that first edition Dark Arm Dragon that you finally managed to get a hold of. But you know that you have to sell it. After all, you spent money on that collection, and that money you need to return. So you better flip it now to get whatever margins you can. Part of the joy, I think, of loving bulk as much as I do is the fact that it also coincides a lot with my favorite creature type. A lot of the slivers are bulk. Some of them are downright unplayable. This is a 3-drop 2/2. If this were not a sliver, it would have absolutely nothing going for it. I dropped it again. Jesus. Boom. You know, so some of these are just genuine bulk cards that most people wouldn't want or care for if not for the sliver type attached to them. And as a result, they tend to come easy in bulk collections or just small binder buys or whatever. So over the years, I've just managed to accumulate damn near 2 boxes full of this stuff. And as you can see, they are not well organized. There's no rhyme or reason to how they're thrown in here. Some are still in the original sleeves they came with. Some are in absolutely fucked condition. And this is what I say when I say that I am a bit of a hoarder for these things. There's no real organization to it. There's no real rhyme or reason to how they're laid out beyond just color, which is all well and good. Ooh, some of the premium deck spectral slivers. I think that foiling looks really good on this guy in particular. Now, some people are going to look at the word hoarder and they're going to have a negative connotation attached to it. Ooh, some thunder going on. Ooh. And yeah, it's definitely true that hoarding is not healthy. It doesn't really help anyone, especially if it's all disorganized. And, you know, this is definitely a method of practice what you preach, because I've said on the channel before, hey, you should definitely have your collection organized. If you have a proper collection, it should be organized so that, A, it's easy for you to part with when that time comes, or B, when you're no longer here in this world, the people you leave behind can easily go through your stuff. But I do believe it's totally fine to make an exception, especially if you're just looking to have whatever it is in whatever condition it is in a box that you keep off to the side. That is not a sliver. How did you get up in there? Get out of here. Must have been mixed up with the rest. That's past Frank shining through. That guy's lazy as hell, just letting random non-slivers into the box. But yeah, for things like this, where I'm getting hundreds of cards and these aren't really worth anything, and I just like having them, I think it is totally fine to just keep a giant pile of them in a box somewhere. Especially since, you know, for the most part, you know that they ain't going anywhere. You know that these ain't worth much. You can just leave a little note saying, I got the joy out of it. that I wanted to get out of it, feel free to do whatever. And it'll end up being parsed off as bulk when the time comes. But the cool thing about this is the fact that, like I said, it's just so easy to get more of them coming in. Bulk sales, collection buys, binders, trades even. You know, if you're fond of a type of card that is cheap and everybody has, it really can be rewarding just to accumulate as much of them as possible. Now, I know that this is not for everyone. There are definitely people in the collection. Ooh, that's really nice and shiny. There are people in the collection world who don't see any value in collecting cheap cards. And I've said before on the channel, there's definitely value in collecting cheap cards. There's definitely value in collecting bulk cards. What matters is the value that you yourself place on your collection. A $200 card in a binder full of thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cards is all well and good, but if you don't have any attachment to it, it's meaningless. And that's where I want to start talking about these slivers, because I have a lot of attachment to these guys. Sure, the cards themselves are worth not a whole lot individually, with a handful of exceptions, obviously. You know, token. The slivers themselves aren't worth a whole lot, but the emotional attachment I have to them is pretty great. Like I said, I love playing these little dudes. I think they're awesome. They are the best tribe in the game, and I always love getting more of them. Just to hoard, just to hold on to. Now, you might be surprised to see the Vidalcan Aether Mage, but this is sort of sliver support, so I keep it here with the rest of them. Ooh, that's a nice looking foil there too. Those old foils always look super duper dope. Now, where was I? Yeah, just the emotional attachment part of it. You know, your collection, especially if it is a more disorganized collection, you have to make sure that you still know what you've got there. And like I said, there's barely anything that resembles organization here, but I do still have a general broad idea of what I've got. I do own at least one copy of every sliver. I do keep them all either in this box, in these two boxes, or in the deck. Ooh, nice promo one. That looks super dope. So I have a pretty good idea of where everything's at. If the need ever arises for me to move things around or to change out a deck or anything like that, I know where to go and what to look for. It doesn't take me too long to go through this. And that's part of the fun, too, is the fact that I just kind of get to go and enjoy sifting through the box to find the sliver. Ooh, another one. Finding the slivers I want to find is as easy as just sifting through the box and enjoying all the other slivers. For example, I know in here there are some legendary slivers that I definitely like to play, sometimes even build a deck around. And I know that all I have to do is sift through some other slivers to get to the ones that I'm trying to play. This one always looks weird to me. Not a big fan of a mnemonic sliver. Hive Stone, sliver support, plague sliver, quilt sliver. There we go. Overlord, first sliver, queen, Legion, the banding sliver, Bone Slife, Overlord, assigned Hive Lord, hell yeah. Legion, sliver token. Take a look at this one. This one actually looks pretty solid. So here's a good example of a card that isn't worth anything, but still has quite the emotional attachment to it. This was one of the first sliver cards I went out and traded for. And I got an amazing trade for it, because on the reverse side, this thing is absolutely fucked. Every edge on this card, there is fraying. It looks absolutely ruined, absolutely wrecked. And so I traded like basically nothing for this way back when I picked it up. And the same is true of a lot of the other slivers I have in the legendary pile. Oop, loud cars in by. And a lot of the other slivers I have here, like I said, came as bulk. Were really easy to pick up. Oh, that's the fusion sliver. I thought it was a dude again. Check it out. Oh, these just have slivers on them. I'm really fond of that. Different language slivers, sliver support, different versions, different printings, different rarities, different lands. Overall, I'm not going to continue to go further into the benefits of just accumulating. Oh, there's the new sliver token from Aether Drift, or what the hell was it called? Edge of Eternities, maybe? It came in foil and non-foil, and that's what I thought was pretty cool. Overall, I just want to say that, yeah, there's definite value. There's definitely a good reason, I think, to organize what you have and know what you've got and all that jazz. What's this? Why are you in a sleeve? Oh, because you're foil. What's this? Why are you guys in sleeves? Let's find out. Oh, because you're signed, you're the promo, you're the promo, you're a promo. Hive Lord, Hive, Legion. I didn't even know what these were. I knew I had them. I knew I had a signed sliver, but I didn't know it was in those sleeves. And that's part of the joy. I can just rediscover some of the fun of this box every time I go through it. And of course, that's not the only sliver stuff I have. I do have a deck. I do play slivers in EDH when I play EDH, but I also have my two favorite sliver cards, an oversized queen and the graded queen. Because I don't get a whole lot of cards graded, and I don't have a whole lot of graded cards, but the ones I do have, I do quite enjoy. And this is just one of the weirder oversized cards. Wizards of the Coast has a very strong reprint policy when it comes to the reserved list, but oversized cards apparently are A-okay. And that makes this pretty fun. But what do you guys think overall? I know that a lot of you guys who watch the channel are collectors yourselves, but are you guys also hoarders? Do you have a particular kind of card that you just throw into a box and are happy to have as much of as you can? If so, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.